Each week, we welcome to our NfG stage one of our highly talented members or special guests with something designed to help you and your business. Do you ever wonder about what return on investment we get for the amount of time and money we spend on activities like marketing? Have we found that this has changed in the last 18 months for better or for worse? Compared to the years BC, that's before COVID, we've all had to be unprecedented in our adaptability. And that seems to include the unprecedented use of the word unprecedented. But have we truly adapted our marketing approach to deal with the changes in the world around us in terms of being heard above that sea of noise? After many years of getting attention and not detention in the education sector, this Norfolk-based rugby lover has helped individuals and businesses to move from the back row to tackle their many challenges. And with a determined focus on conversion, he does more than just try. Our speaker is on a mission to ensure as many businesses as possible are getting excellent returns on their digital marketing, from websites to social media to paid advertising. Unleashing his well-tuned arsenal of digital marketing tricks to make the most of the way we do things, with a rich presentation on tips on marketing our businesses post-pandemic to keep your company competitive and successful. We bring to you Jon Bugg. Good morning, Jon.
Thank you very much. I do enjoy your introductions. Right, I'm going to get started. I'm actually just doing a timer because I am well renowned for wittering on and liking the sound of my own voice, which is probably something that comes from my prior career as a head teacher. However, that's all in the past. What I learned setting up a business from scratch was that setting up a commercial business was very different to working in the public sector, and there was a lot more elements that I had to really get my head around to make sure that the business didn't go off a cliff. And one of those obviously is marketing. Marketing is something I love. It's something I'm passionate about. I love the back end of it. I love the analysis of it, but I also love the front end, which is the bit where you're actually doing the communicating, and that's really, really important to me. So I generally show this image at the beginning of a presentation because it's important to remember that when we talk about digital marketing, we're talking about a vast array of different elements. There's a huge number of options available for digital marketers. And if you're in a big multinational company, you've probably got teams working on each of these elements, and it's great because you can optimize all of them, and it's all about controlling a big machine. But we're not in that position because we're in a smaller environment where we need to make the most of the funds that we've got, and we need to make the most of what we're trying to achieve as business owners. So how do we go about it? Well, there are two audiences, and both of them have changed slightly. Before COVID, there was a lot of talk about, the robot side of things, the making sure your SEO was up to scratch, making sure you got your keywords in there, making sure that you were using the algorithms on social media properly, and all that sort of thing. And then what happened was suddenly we went from people who occasionally use social media during the day to millions of us sat at home with very little else to do. And the uptake on social media in the first month or so went absolutely stratospheric. People were getting organic reach where they'd never had organic reach before. They were managing, because we were all there going, oh, that's a local business, share it. That's a local business, share it. That's a local business, share, comment. Oh, I like that guy, and so on. And so the social media companies got a little bit panicky, and because there was so much sharing and everything going on, they really pushed down that organic content, because what they effectively want, their business model is they want you to pay for adverts. And there's similar elements around Google happening where you know they want you to be paying for ads, and they want you to be actually feeding into their business model. However, what both of those elements are looking at generally is how you interact with the people, because the humans are more important than ever. And this is the key thing you need to take away from what I'm going to say. It's all about human interaction, human contact. If you think about what it was like when we were locked down and everyone was suddenly in their little boxes, some smaller than others, not able to go out, looking out the window, reporting the person who you saw down, who you definitely went out twice today, all of those sorts of elements, we lost that connection with each other. And there's been a real explosion of people wanting to get out and meet and talk and do things and feel like they were prior to COVID. And you know, we're not in a position yet where there's no threat. So a lot of people are also sat there thinking, well, I'd like to go out and meet people, but I really don't feel confident doing that. I've been vaccinated, but I know that I can't, I know that I can still catch it, I can still pass it on, and blah, blah, blah. And it just becomes really, really difficult to understand whereabouts you are with that human interaction. And the really important thing is to be listening to understand where your clients are coming from in that sort of space. Are they people who are fairly gung-ho about it? Are they people who are actually concerned about things like COVID? Are they people who are grabbing the opportunity to get out and about by the with both hands, or are they people who are struggling to come to terms with it? But the changes with the robots are still key in terms of making sure you're getting your message to people. They still want to know that you're sharing important messages and you're sharing important information for the people who are finding you. And that's what is going to be more and more. The algorithms are all designed around making sure that the users stay using those platforms, and that means you have to hold their attention when you're going onto when they're going onto those platforms. And it's not vastly different to what it was before, but they're refining it all the time. And one of the things that once you've got hold of those people that we need to be thinking about is other people don't see everything the same way as we do. They don't see the world the way we do, and we've got to communicate with them. And the reason that my my 4-year-old monkey is here, she is always in trouble, and she has a favorite book, and her favorite book is just here, and it's a Richard Scarry one, and it's the best counting book ever. And I think I was like, great, I love the fact that she loves the counting book, she loves the maths is really important, and we'll go through it and she'll count everything, and she'll count along and she'll get to 10, and then she'll go 16, 21, 32, 17, and Caroline, and I'm always, no, you've got to remember to put it in order, you've got to remember to do like this. And she says, Daddy, you do maths your way, I'll do it mine. And that's what she said on Saturday night. And I was and it was a bit of a moment for me where I was like, actually, do you know what? I see this as an opportunity to teach her. She sees it as an opportunity to spend time with me doing something she quite enjoys. And there's a very different sort of context there. And it's really important that I understand that, so I don't make it not fun by saying, no, you've got to remember to put 15 in, because otherwise it's, otherwise you fail. So how does that relate to marketing? Well, we need to know what our customers are like. I use an avatar like this. We've got several of them. But one of the really interesting bits about this is not about the goals and values are fairly standard, things like challenges and pain points. We don't necessarily know what they are unless we talk to our clients and the people who we're working with. But what I really find interesting, things like sources of information is on there, and where do people get their information from? Where are they hanging out? What are they doing in their spare time? When they're looking for information to, to make them successful, where are they going? And those are the black swans where you don't necessarily know that, that they exist unless you actually go and talk to the person involved. So then, we do avatars, but we have to find out about the customers first, because you need to find out what motivates them. And these are the things that I do, and they're things that you can do fairly easily. I talk to my customers, I talk to prospective customers, I ask questions, I build the avatars to make sure that I'm directing my marketing at people rather than at machines. Research and quizzes, really, really important. And the last two are some that I've started just recently. So when I say coffee and lunch, I don't take necessarily, I do take existing customers to coffee and lunch, but what I do is I try every week to find one person who I find interesting, who I want to know a bit more about, and I take them to lunch and I ask them questions, and we get to know them and we have a chat, and it becomes a way, and it's part of my marketing, not because I want to sell to them, because I want to know what motivates them to buy. And it makes it, the whole thing coming around, and a lot more a lot clearer for my marketing, so that I know how to direct messages. And so, for example, I put a Facebook post out about my what my daughter said, I just said earlier, and I've looked this morning and I've got 2 clients who've liked it, so I know that family stuff is important to them, and I've got 5 people who I would dearly like to be clients who've also noticed it and commented on it. And it's not because I'll use that story to sell to them, but it gives me a really good route in to understanding what motivates them as business owners. And it just helps me to be that rounded individual that makes sure that people are not just buying what I've got to sell, but also buying into me as a person, because that personal interaction is exactly what we need to be looking at post-COVID. It's all about the people. Thank you very much.